Celtic Nation, Celtics lose to the Knicks 113 to 121. What are we going to do? What's the state of Jayson Tatum and the state of the team after Jayson Tatum goes down with a torn Achilles? Man, we got a lot to think about. It's a lot of craziness going on. We're going to have to figure out where this team is headed to for the near future. We're going to talk about all that right now. So let's get.
Yeah. 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 Working out.
Number 18 came clean.
Yeah.
The number 18 came clean.
Yeah. You can find me on the banner block. It's Shamrocks, oh it's not. Yeah. Let me clean them up like the floor is dirty with a mop. I'm on the banner block. It's 24 on the clock. Yeah. Every day it costs, but it's one possession at the bottom on the banner block. It's Shamrocks, oh it's not. Yeah. Let me clean them up like the floor is filthy with a mop. I'm on the banner block. Banner block. I'm on the. Yeah, that's the winning spot. Winning spot. I'm on the overqualified, but the system wanna sit me down. They hate me like the J. You can call me champion now. I guess
Celtic Nation, once again, we lose to the Knicks. Yeah, I get it. I know everybody's upset. Everybody's mad. Everybody doesn't know what's going on. Everybody's going on their rants.
Yeah, tell her why you mad, son.
Yeah.
Tell her why you
Yeah, a
mad.
lot of people are just upset at what's going on right now because we were supposed to go back to back. There was no debate. There was no debate that we were going back to back. We got all the pieces in place. We have one of the highest salary caps in the league. Yeah, we're paying all this extra money over the tax, and we look at our team and we're basically underachieving in the second round. We only have one win. We lose both of our home games to the Knicks. You can say that we were all good, in New York when we won,
Barely.
but I'm trying to say game 4, we come out, we play little to no defense. We don't do what we're supposed to do. And then now we look at ourselves, we're down 1-3 to the New York Knicks. And now everybody's predicting that the New York Knicks is going to go to the Eastern Conference Finals, knock off whoever. Well, I guess the Indiana Pacers, now that we know that it's going to be them. They're going to knock off the Indiana Pacers. And then they're expected to go to the NBA Finals and win it all. So, I mean, it's hard to argue that if you were in their position that they're up 3-1 on us. They're doing a lot of things that people didn't expect them to do. Now, we knew that Jalen Brunson was a monster. He was a beast. But I don't think we knew he was this type of beast, this much of a monster. Scrap and scrape his team to come back from 20-point lead or deficits, 20-point deficits down 2 games in a row on the road. You got to give him his props. He's a phenomenal player. He's actually, yeah, I know. But at the same time, the dude is a beast. He's an all NBA player. The guy earned his stripes. He started out in Dallas. He wasn't getting his just due playing next to Luka. He leaves. He creates his own legacy out in New York. And it's really been working for him. So you really can't hate on him like that. You just got to give him the props that he deserves. So where does this leave us? We're in a desperate state right now. Like I said, we're down 1-3. We still got some firepower. We got Jaylen Brown. We still got Derek White. We still got Porzingis. We got Al Horford. Still no sign of Sam Hauser getting back. We could have used his 3-point shooting. Still got Peyton Pritchard, 6th man of the year. So we've got firepower. So how do we take this firepower and how do we manipulate it to where we can at least get this next win at home? Well, we're going to have to be a cohesive unit. We're going to have to pass the ball like never before. We're going to have to play defense like never before. And guess what, guys? We can't check up threes. No more chucking up threes, okay? Because we have to go to the basket on this team. We're going to have to get good shots from everywhere on the court. We can't just get them on the perimeter. We can't just lazily shoot up threes and say, hey, we're going to beat you by all of us shooting 13 to 14 threes. That's not going to work anymore. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to come together. We're going to have to slash to the basket. We're going to have to get layups. We're going to have to draw fouls. We're going to have to play aggressive.
Bruh.
Yes, we're going to have to play aggressive and hard working, because if we don't do it, guess what? We go home and everyone's going to know, hey, these guys were just paper champions. So what we need to do is let's come together. Let's go to the basket. Let's go to the rack. Let's play hard. Let's get free throws. Let's draw fouls. Let's not just chuck up threes all day long, because that's not going to work. So let's move on to the next subject.
Combo break.
So this is what we got. We got to deal with the fact that Jayson Tatum, he tore his Achilles. So let's talk about it. Now, Jayson Tatum, we found out that he suffers a torn Achilles. He's expected to miss at least 9 months minimum. They have a timeline to be determined, but we all know that at least for an Achilles, it's going to take at least around 9 months minimum to even be in playing shape. To be able to even step out on the court, it's going to take 9 months. So what does that mean? That means that Jayson Tatum is going to miss a majority of next year, if not the whole year. Now, if we can get JT to manage to come back for the playoffs, that's a win. So what's 9 months? So we're in the middle of May, so that means we got June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, all of February. So that means March he can potentially come back. Okay. So sorry, this earpiece can be in trouble. But I'm so that means April he can get back. Or March, excuse me. March he can get back. So that's around playoff time for us. The end of the March, end of March is when playoffs are actually rounding up. So um maybe he comes back round 1 if he's in playing shape. If he's willing to if he's able to get back on the court a little bit early, practice with the guys, get the chemistry together. Great. He can come back for the playoffs of next year, round 1. But that means he misses the whole entire year, a whole entire year of his career, which is pretty devastating for him. As you saw how he was writhing around in pain, we all were like, yo, I never seen JT uh, do that on the court, because he's just so tough. You know what I'm saying? He never writhed around in pain before. Like, he never stayed down. He always gets up or hops up. That's what he does. He's one of the most durable players in the league. That was his tagline. He would always play. And now we're gonna be without Jayson Tatum for a whole entire year, practically a whole year. At least until March, basically up until the playoffs. So that's a whole regular season we're gonna miss out on. Who knows where we're gonna be ranked without his firepower all year long? We're used to having him as the first team All NBA every single year. So what else does that mean? Uh that means that a lot of players are gonna have to step up like never before. That means that this roster shakeup that they were talking about having, um, that's gonna have to end. No more talks about that. We're gonna have to keep the weapons that we have if we're gonna have any chance of competing for next year. Now, if they have plans for trying to tank, ooh, I'm not sure how that's gonna go over so well against with Celtic Nation, because we don't just tank like that. We had some hard years before Kevin Garnett came and before Ray Allen came. We had some pretty tough years. I don't think we're trying to go right back to that right now. I'm thinking we're gonna try to compete for a championship again without Jayson Tatum. Now, how do we do that? We have Derek White still. Of course, we have Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's gonna have to step up and be the number one on this team. How does the Celtics look with Jaylen Brown as the number one? I'm very curious to see how that does look. Does he potentially get an All NBA bid along with an All Star bid? With him at the realm at the helm of this offense, and him being the quarterback of this offense. Very interested to see how that goes with Jaylen Brown as the number one. That would be very interesting to see. Um, I would love to see it. I think he can do it. I think he can probably average around 27 points a game. If so, if he can get 27 to 28 points a game next year without JT in the lineup, yeah, he'll get that all NBA bid that he so willingly deserves if he can manage to get 27 points a game. Yeah, I'd love to see that. I would absolutely love to see that. Um, what did Jason Tatum do before he tore his Achilles? Let's look at what he did. He had 42 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, was 7 for 16 from 3, 16 for 28 from the field goal range. And he was a -9 as far as plus minus. Um, he was balling. To be honest with you, I feel like he was balling out of control.
He's on fire.
He was hitting almost half his threes. Uh, like I said, 16 for 28 from the field. 42 points, man. He almost scored 50 points in this game. I'm thinking he goes for 50 if he could play this game out. I think he manages to rally, get us into overtime somehow, or not, or if not, put us in position to win the game at the end of the game. I believe he does that for us. Um, he was just really in sync with his game. He took shots, quite a few shots, but I would say that he was hitting. He was well over 50% from the field. His three-point shot was going in. He just looked really confident. He looked like he was almost proving to the world, like, "Hey, I'm still that dude. I'm still JT." And we were with him. I thought he was gonna pull it through for us. I was a little disappointed in uh Jaylen Brown's performance. I thought that maybe he was just picking up uh way too many just frivolous fouls. Just he was just fouling out of control this game. Um, he put the Celtics in a position to where he had to sit down because he just kept picking up fouls. I'm not sure if it's the refs, if they're the reason why he was picking up so many fouls. If it was just ticky tack, but I thought that maybe some of them were just okay. Why'd you grab him right there? Like, especially for that take foul on OG right after you were reviewed for that spin off offensive foul or that potential offensive foul when you spun off a Knicks player. What was it, Josh Hart? And and he got the blocking foul. And then they challenged it and we won it. But it did look like he may have had a case. It was really reckless. It was JB just played pretty reckless. Um, that game, last game. I just thought, man, that he could have played a whole lot more smarter. I don't think this was one of his smarter games as far as how he approached it. And he's a really smart player, one of the smartest players I ever seen. So I was really shocked that he played the way he played. He scored 20 points. Let's see what his stats were. He scored 20 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. He was 2 for 8 from 3. He didn't have a good shooting outing from the 3-point land. I think he's I don't think he's 100% right now. Um, I kind of think that he was pressing some. 7 for 16. He was a -1 for plus minus. I like the 7 boards. maybe he could have did a little better on his passing game, his reading, to where he can get a couple more assists. Probably get that up to 4 or 5. Especially if only scoring 20 points because he's a 20-point guy in his sleep. So, um, I feel like JB could have had a better game. By far, definitely could have had a better game. If we look at what the Celtics did overall, let's see what they did. Um, let's see. Uh, okay, so the Celtics quarter one, they had 39 points to the Knicks' 28. Now, that lets me know that they came out fast, they came out confident, they were moving the ball really well, they're hitting their shots. Quarter two, it was a stalemate, 23 and 23. They go in, still have that lead that they built up in the first quarter, then come out in the third quarter, and what happens, guys? Like I always say, the Celtics not good in the third quarter. 23 to 37. A 15, what is that? Uh, a 14-point swing. They get outscored by 14 points in the third quarter, and then they get outscored by 5 points in the fourth quarter, which essentially led us to an 8-point deficit. So you just, I'm like, you're up 11 points here. Then you give up 14 points, a 14-point swing in the third quarter, and then you tag on another 5 points, and it's like you can't overcome that. You have to play better in the third quarter. You just have to. There's no way that you can continue to have those types of third quarters and expect to be a championship team. You just can't do it. Um, you just can't do it. We can look at some of these Knicks stats. What were they doing? What were the Knicks doing here? Let's see if we can look at some of their stats. If we can move them over, this is kind of. Let's move this over. Okay, so we see that Jalen Brunson had an awesome game: 39 points, 12 assists, 5 rebounds. I'm like, sheesh. Yeah, the guy's phenomenal. What can you say? He had a lot of help. He got Karl Anthony Towns, 23 and 11, with a block. You got OG, gave him 20 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Mikal Bridges gave him 23 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, and a block. Man, that guy's playing phenomenal. Mikal Bridges is not getting enough credit for what he's doing for the New York Knicks. He had 2 incredible plays in game 1 and in game 2 at the end of them. He smothered Jaylen Brown, pretty much stole the ball from him, so Jaylen Brown couldn't get a shot off. Game 2, he blocks Jayson Tatum from making an outlet pass to JB. At the end of the game, he pretty much 2 defensive plays that won them the game, both games. Then comes back game 4, has a phenomenal two-way game. It's like, what do you say? You like, you just yeah, I know. I don't like giving props to New York Knicks either, but you just got to give props where props are due, man. So hey, that was that. They did what they had to do. They earned what they had to earn from us. We've got to figure out a way to come back and win game 5, man. We got to win game 5 for JT, man. If we don't do anything, we just got to rally around each other. Win game 5 for JT. What did the Celtics do as a whole? We shot 38 for 79, 48.1% from the field, 18 for 48 from 3. It was decent 3-point shooting night. I would say it's a decent shooting from the field as well, 48%. 31 rebounds. That was a little low. That was a tad low. That means we didn't rebound great at all. That means they got a lot of second chance shots, a lot of offensive rebounds. I saw Mitchell Robinson get 2 offensive rebounds back to back in one possession. Um, man, our rebounding has got to improve. Our rebounding is pretty terrible. I'm just telling you that from my perspective. We've never really had solid rebounding from this group for about 3 years. Robert Williams was our best rebounder we've had in that time span, in that window. Um, After Robert Williams, was traded, Al Horford's not a great rebounder. He's just too old. Um, Porzingis was our next best rebounder, I would say, when he's healthy, when he's playing correctly. Uh, but he's disappeared this playoffs. Kristaps Porzingis has been a no-show, for the most part of this playoffs, and it's really disappointing because I know Kristaps is a phenomenal player. I know that he deserves to come back on this team because he's a phenomenal player. He just is. And I would hope that we do keep him in the off season. Let's look at what he did in this particular game. 7 points, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 0 blocks. He used to be a great rim protector for us when he was healthy. 0 for 2 from 3. He's only took 6 field goals, and he was a flat 0 in plus minus. Um, Porzingis is just not playing well. He's not healthy. He's got to get himself together as far as getting healthy. And Porzingis,
Get over here.
we just got to have an intervention. Like, you are a great player. You're a phenomenal rim protector. I love the dynamic that you and JB had last year and this year. Cookies and cream, right? But you have to play better. You just have to simply be yourself. You have to shoot the long range jumper that you were. You have to protect the rim the way you were last year. That's why we won a championship, because you were phenomenal. Yes, you missed some time, but when you did come in, you were very impactful. So we need that Porzingis back, especially for this game 5. I'm not sure what we got to do to get you healthy psychologically, physically, but listen, we need Porzingis of last year. We got to have it, or we go home. It's that simple. Um, some bright spots, bright spots. I would say Derek White. He's been a very bright spot on our team. Let's see what he did. Derek White, 23 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 0 blocks, 6 for 11 from 3. He was 6 for 12 from the field. He was a -10, but that's not indicative of what his impact on the game. He was just he had a great game. Even though his plus minus isn't saying that. He was just very efficient, very poised this game. I liked he shot from 50% from the field, over 50% from 3-point land. He's a phenomenal player. I'm glad he's on our team. I'm glad we have him. We're gonna have to make sure that he's one of the players that we continue to build around in the off season. He's just that much of a contributor. He's that important to us. We need to keep him around. Let's see. We'll go over the Knicks. We'll go over what they did. The Knicks as a whole, they were 50 for 92. They shot 54%. They were 12 for 34 from the 3-point land. That's 35.3%. They had 43 rebounds to our what? We had 31. Yes, they out rebounded us grossly. They had 25 assists. How many assists did we have? To our 15. So they passed and they rebounded better than us. And yeah, we had about the same amount of turnovers. So there's just no excuse to why we played the way we played. There's just no excuse to why we looked the way we looked. We have got to figure out a way to be better for game 5. It's just about that simple. There's no way around it. I'm hoping that we just get we regroup because this is a huge psychological blow seeing JT go down with the torn Achilles. Um, we knew it was gonna be bad. We knew the MRI was gonna probably give us some bad news, but we didn't know it was gonna be this bad. We didn't know JT was gonna be out the whole next year. I had an idea. I said when he went down, I said, man, that looks like an Achilles. He pushed off and went down, and he grabbed the back of his foot like those who go down with an Achilles. And I was hoping maybe it was like a calf injury or a calf strain or something else. I was even hoping it was a bone break in his ankle, something other than that Achilles popping. Um, that forces us to talk about what's next. Who do we keep next year if JT is essentially out for the season? Who do we keep? I'm thinking, in my opinion, we got to keep JB number one. People were talking about shipping him out. Let's break up the Jays. We can't afford this roster. We've got new management. Yeah, I hear all that. We got new ownership. Yeah, I hear all that. I hear all that. But I don't hear all that. I don't. Yeah, I'm not hearing that, man. We're gonna have to keep JB because he's gonna have to be our nuclear weapon next year. Finals MVP of last year, four-time NBA All-Star, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Uh, dude is a beast. NBA champion. We're gonna have to keep that man on our team. Okay, I don't care what know how anyone's feeling. He's not 100% right now. We're not seeing 100% JB. We're just seeing about a 75% JB right now. Let's not forget what this guy can do when he gets the shots. Let's keep JB. Let's keep D White. Of course, we got to keep Derek White. There's no way that we can let him go. Now, what gets interesting is what do we do with Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis? Wait a second. Wait. I'm not saying let's get rid of them. I'm just saying let's talk about where we can go if we explore a potential trade or two. We've got some people who want to move. If Jayson Tatum isn't there all next year, is it possible? Is it possible we can give Phoenix Kristaps, maybe even Drew Holiday as well for Kevin Durant? I know a lot of people are talking about Kevin Durant is moving. He's looking at what his best fits are. How would Kevin Durant fit in this team with a Derek White and a Jaylen Brown while Jayson Tatum is on the bench, nursing his torn Achilles? What Celtic team would that look like? Now, that's a very interesting Celtic team. They say, hey, so if we lose Drew Holiday, what are we going to do about our perimeter defense? This is where it gets even more interesting. We go to Washington and we bring Marcus Smart back. We bring Marcus Smart back from Washington, bring Kevin Durant in from Phoenix for Porzy and Drew. We're right back in business, baby, with Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Kevin Durant, and Derek White as our four guys. And we'll still have Peyton Pritchard coming off the bench. So we're going to be in great shape. We would need another center. I guess we can move Kata up and see what Al Horford can give us off the bench. Not really sold on Luke Cornett over Kata. Luke Cornett's been getting the minutes. I'd play Kata. I'm not sure why he hasn't been getting any playing time, but I'd play Kata. He's more athletic, great player. He needs a shot. Because if we're not going to bring Robert Williams back, let's develop Kata the way we need to develop him. And that's just what I feel about that in that particular situation in that scenario. So, um, I would bring those guys back. I would probably trade Porzy and Drew for Kevin Durant if that's a possibility. I'm sure Brad Stevens is talking to Phoenix. Um, I just don't see us being able to get Giannis for anything we have other than the Milwaukee wouldn't budge off of Jaylen Brown. They just wouldn't. Um, so I don't see us being able to get Giannis with Porzingis and Drew Holiday. That's just not enough. Maybe some draft picks. We don't have a lot of draft capital, so like I said, they're gonna want Jaylen Brown for Giannis, just as they should. So that's not an option. I would say Kevin Durant for Kristaps Porzingis and Drew Holiday is very much so an option. That being Kevin Durant being so old, um, his age. So if we really want to compete next year, we can trade those two guys for Kevin Durant, and we can see where that goes. All right. So, um, in a nutshell, yeah, that's pretty much everything. Let's see. Yeah, another question. Will Jayson Tatum be the same player after this injury? Guys, what do you think? Do you think Jayson Tatum's going to be the same after this injury? I personally think he's young enough to be the same Jayson Tatum. They say after an Achilles injury, you're never the same. So maybe he's 95% Jayson Tatum. Maybe we never get that 100% Jayson Tatum again. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe he changes up his game. Maybe he changes up the style how he approaches his game. Maybe he takes different shots. Maybe they're not all perimeter shots. Maybe he starts mastering the mid range a little more. Maybe so. It's yet to be seen. We'll have to see what it is that he does to rearrange and to reconstruct his game. They say he's supposed to make a full recovery. So I don't know what that means because personally, if you do make a full recovery, what is a full recovery? Is 95% of who he once was? Is that what a full recovery is? Or is a full recovery a full recovery? Is he 100% Jayson Tatum? Does he still have that same explosion? Can he still get that same separation off his step back? Can he still move? And does he still have his handle? Can he still push off? Does he still have his vertical? Can he elevate over defenders the way and dunk on them like he used to? I don't know. I would like to think. But the only one close to coming back to his normal self was Kevin Durant. Maybe medical advancements have moved forward since Kevin Durant's surgery to where it's even better now. They said the surgery was successful. So I'm not sure. Maybe they have new techniques, maybe he went to the best doctor. I'm sure he went to the best doctor in the world. So maybe he does come back 100%. I hope he does. One thing we do know that Celtic Nation, we're not going to have Jayson Tatum next year or most of the year. At least he may come back for the playoffs. He may come back for the playoffs. But that's a big maybe because he's going to have to work himself back into Jayson Tatum shape. And we're just going to have to see. So, in my opinion, I think he does come back. Worst case scenario, he comes back 95% of what Jayson Tatum is. And that's still an all NBA player, first team. So we'll have to just take that. And like I said, we need to keep JB in the off season. We need to keep D White around. We probably can move Porzy and Drew for Kevin Durant if possible. If not, maybe we think of some other pieces we can move a Porzingis for maybe a more athletic center. Maybe not so three oriented or orientated. But it's much to discuss. But Celtic Nation, I just want to let you know that we don't have to worry. There's nothing to worry about. Let's continue to keep the faith that Jayson Tatum is going to come back his normal self, and we're going to do this. We're going to go after Banner 19, if not this year. When JT gets back, possibly if we get Kevin Durant, let's go for it next year. So, all right. I'm going to holler at y'all. Be good. Welcome to Celtics Banner Block.
Yeah, you can find me on the banner block. It's Shamrock, oh it's not. Yeah, let me clean them up like the floor is dirty with a mop. I'm on the banner block. It's 24 on the clock. Yeah, every day it costs, but it's one possession that I bought. I'm on the banner block. It's Shamrock, oh it's not. Yeah, let me clean them up like the floor is filthy with a mop. I'm on the banner block. Banner block. I'm on the. Yeah, that's the winning spot. Winning spot. I'm on the overqualified, but the system wanna sit me down. They hate me like the Jays, you can call me champion now. I guess I'm in my prime, when it's time I'ma draw the foul. When I paint the picture, it's Mona Lisa, but I keep it wild. Yeah, I stay humble, even though the negatives want me to fumble. And I never mumble, let me articulate when I stumble. The cookie crumble, but I'ma still depart with a bundle. We about to raise the banner, I see the trophy in the tunnel. I worked all my life, I couldn't even afford British nights. I was rocking buddies, yeah, life is ugly, but it's all the light.